Obviously, there was some fraud taking place in Enron.
There was no fraud at Enron, Steve.
Andy Fastow was not involved with any fraudulent activity?
Andy Fastow was involved with fraudulent activity, but not in the conduct of his work at Enron.
Celebrity justice. A lot of people say that rich people can have a different sort of system. You know, they can buy what they want, the outcome. Is that true?
It is absolutely untrue. Celebrities have resources thrown at them that nobody else faces. More resources are thrown at Michael Jackson than any serial killer I've ever heard of.
How do you differ from some of the other judges out there?
I think for me, I take this personal, I put myself in their shoes. I always say there's a disease going on in America, is I didn't do it. The I didn't do it disease, you know, lack of accountability. So if you can really handle that legal claim and treat people with respect and dignity, as most judges in the real court system do, you accomplish a lot.
So when someone says to you, yes, I murdered that person, or yes, I did this crime, you still represent them?
That's a great question, and that's the question that comes up all the time. And many times people may say, and I've had clients say that they have murdered their spouse. I had one client who came to me and he said, on a Friday afternoon, I just shot my wife and dropped her body on the freeway. What should I do?
You grow up in certain parts of Los Angeles, and the gang culture is endemic. The people look across their neighborhood, they see people wearing gang colors. How do you change that? I mean, really, how do you change that?
Nobody's figured it out yet. That's the issue.
Because it's not going away.
It's not going away. It's less than it was.
I've watched some of these shows from time to time, and I'm amazed at how some people get up there and they have like no moral scruples as to what they did. They rip somebody off and they think that person gave them something, and that's the way they want to see it. How do you change their mind and trying to look at the right way of doing things?
You know, it's such a case-by-case situation, and I would have to be in that situation. But it's the connection with people. It's my parents raised me to, you always be the same person. It doesn't matter where you are, where you came from. We all have same human emotions, same feelings. It's understanding somebody where they came from. It's giving them the opportunity to speak and you to listen.
In a lot of your cases, race is an issue, isn't it?
Yes.
You wrote an article about addressing race to the jury as soon as possible, correct?
Yes.
There are assumptions you wrote in that article. What are those assumptions that you'll share with us?
Well, basically, I was talking about black people and white people,
Yes.
and I was talking about cases which appear to have white prejudice directed towards black people.
Yes.
I also wanted to mention the fact that I think racism exists at both a subconscious and a conscious level.
In everybody.
Yes, many people look in the mirror and say, I'm not racist, I'm
Right.
not prejudiced.
Right.
They don't realize the extent to which they do devalue people they see different from themselves. And sometimes you have to remind them of that in a very, very respectful way, so they will be conscious of it, because we all have subconscious prejudices that we're not even aware of.
How do you view the O.J. case and its outcome in terms of finally getting a resolution, not just financially, but let's say morally?
I think the justice system showed that at the end of the day, it worked. It wasn't the system that broke down in the criminal case. It was the people in the system who broke down.
Right.
It was a judge who was not strong enough to control the case. It was prosecutors and defense lawyers and witnesses who were more concerned about that camera in the courtroom
Yes.
than about giving true evidence in a court of law. And fortunately, we had a very strong, very down-to-earth, tough judge in the civil case. He wanted none of what happened in the criminal case.